We're going to have Jared to give his opening remarks and the award to Ajay.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Mukesh, thank you for doing such a great job on this gathering. This is not my first India-U.S. strategic dialogue. My college roommate was from India, and he's been my best friend and my roommate for a long time. So I was very fortunate throughout my younger years to be able to spend some time in India and really have so many great friends from Mumbai and Delhi. And then in government coming through, we've been able to see the great potential between the two countries, and it's really been something special. And so President Trump has obviously been very focused on what are the great opportunities for America. We obviously have a lot of problems throughout the globe that he's been trying very hard to solve, and he's been very focused on it. But when we look at India, we see a country with such amazing potential, and we see the relationship between America and India as one that has really boundless potential. And the relationship that the president's been able to form with the Indian people and the Indian government has really been a tremendous, tremendous thing. And so we still have some issues we have to work through, but we're all focused on the tremendous potential. When I look at what we've been able to do here in America over the last 2 years, it's been really, really tremendous. I think what we've made the economy here in America hum like it hasn't hummed in a long time. We think that the policies that the president's put in place, starting really with tax reform, which has lowered the corporate tax rate to allow companies to want to be here. Before we got in, there was a lot of inversions, companies moving out of America. Now we have the opposite, which is companies headquartering in America and bringing capital and assets and people to America. And so that's led to a historic low unemployment rate. We've also done a lot to roll back regulations in America, as I'm sure you've heard about today, and that's also created a lot more certainty for business, and it's allowed people to make our country more competitive with the global economy. We've done a lot of investments in our workforce. We're trying to figure out how do we make sure that we're focused not just on K through 12 education, which we can do much better at, and we're working hard at doing that, but also how do we focus on apprenticeships and skills and vocational education and making sure that we're training people for the jobs that are open today and also for the jobs that are being created for tomorrow. We're focused on our trade deals. I think that's something that Prime Minister Modi and the President have spoken about extensively. We have some trade issues that we're trying to work through, but whether it was renegotiating the Mexico and Canada deal, which is a huge deal, it's about $1.2 trillion a year in annual trade, what we're doing with China. A lot of these trade deals are going to bring a lot more jobs back to America, bring more fairness, and also set high global standards for things like environmental practices, which we think are very necessary towards elevating business throughout the entire world. Over the last couple of years, we've increased the energy production in America. America is now energy independent and going in a great, great, great direction, and that's brought a lot of strength. It's helped us rebalance a lot of our geopolitical priorities, and it's really created a lot of jobs and prosperity here in America, and that's been a great thing. We've had a lot of conservative judges. I think one of America's greatest principles from the business community is that we have a very well-defined rule of law, and our system of law and our rule of law is one that we safeguard and one that we celebrate and one that we think is very, very important and gives us a big advantage over a lot of places. And then finally, we're very focused on innovation. We're trying to bring a lot of best practices from the private sector to the government, a lot more accountability. I think the president has really increased the metabolism of our government, and we're trying to figure out constantly how do we create more jobs, how do we get wages rising, how do we do more to bring more and more business here to America. And it's the place that everyone wants to be, and I think that creates a lot of very, very exciting opportunities. We're also very focused on what the future is. How do we make sure that we're doing the right investments in things like artificial intelligence and quantum computing and synthetic biologies and figuring out how we can work with all the different data sets that we create and work with the private sector to create the right rules-based system where people have the ability to innovate and thrive. And I think that that's been a big part of what this president's been able to do to make America more competitive globally. And so part of that comes with, obviously, the relationship with India, where you have a fast-growing economy, you have an amazingly educated population there, and a lot of people who I think share a lot of similar values with this country. And so forums like this are critically important, because when we think about the world as it is today and the world where it's going, there are very few countries like India that possess the potential for growth in what the future strategic relationship can be, whether it's trade and commerce, but also national security. There are so many strategic elements of this relationship that a lot of people in the administration at the president's direction have been very, very focused on. But as I've learned, the government, we can't do this all ourselves. We need people in the private sector coming together like the gathering you've had here today, exchanging ideas, finding opportunities, and then hopefully finding what those barriers are to having even more opportunities, and that's where hopefully we can come in and help you. And so for that, I really commend Ajay and for what he's done. I tell you, at the White House, we deal with all kinds of people, and we find that there are some CEOs who come in, they want a photo, some CEOs who come in, they want to do work. What we've found is that Ajay's been really a tremendous partner. He's come in and he's helped us analyze a lot of problems. He's helped us think about cybersecurity. He's helped us think about future. He's helped us think about the future of where money's going and how flow of funds will be transferring for a long time, because we have to be anticipating problems so that we're not running into stumbling blocks in the future. And he's given us a lot of great people, and he really is somebody who's helped out our team tremendously. So we've been very, very appreciative to him just from an operational point of view, but even more so, the time that he's invested in trying to make the U.S.-India relationship better and stronger, and giving us ideas for how to do that from a trade point of view, and thinking about how to think about making sure that this relationship goes off in the right way has really been tremendous. So for me, it's really a great honor to present this award to somebody who's incredibly deserving, and I just want to be able to present this tonight to my friend and to a great recipient, Ajay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.